Some areas of our life where it's hard for us to be all in is how we manage our time, how we manage our money. Lately, how I've been managing my time and control over my time has been something that's been hitting me pretty hard. Hello, Cornerstone. My name is Matt Hart, and I serve on the youth ministry team, The Quarry. If you guys have no idea what that is, I encourage you guys to ask a middle school student. I want to share with you guys the ways in which the Lord has been working in my life over the past several weeks. In preparation for Voices of Cornerstone, the Lord has opened my eyes to the areas of my life that I am not fully giving over to Him. Prior to the pandemic, the middle school boys study that I co-lead, we've been covering a book by Francis Chan called Crazy Love. It's a great book. It really is, I gotta tell you guys. But it's also a very challenging book. The ways in which it's been challenging me most is in one of the earlier chapters, Francis identifies several areas or several different profiles in which Christians demonstrate lukewarmness towards the Lord. These profiles weren't anything really new to me. They were things that I've heard and seen before and even felt. However, one profile in particular really stuck with me, and it was one in which I kept coming back to week after week. It reads, "Lukewarm people say that they love Jesus, and He is indeed a part of their lives, but only a part. They give Him a section of their time and their money and their thoughts, but He is allowed to control their lives." Reflecting on that profile in the weeks following, I kept coming back to it because I began to find areas of my life that I tend to keep control over instead of giving over to Him. That prompted me to look more closely at the time that I've been spending with the Lord. What I discovered was that I felt closest when I approached the Lord in prayerful repentance. It's easy for me to bring the things that I know that I cannot handle to God. And when I would give those things over to Him, I felt joy. I felt joy from the grace that I would experience in those times. And it's easy for me to give those things to the Lord because I know that I cannot handle them on my own. But instead of rejoicing in the work that He's been doing in the heavier things in my life and bringing Him more, I tend to keep the smaller things to myself, thinking that I got this under control, or He don't need to concern Himself with this, or I got this one. But that produced a lack of joy. It produced a lack of growth in my relationship towards the Lord. Matthew 13:44 says, "Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in a field, which a man found and hid, and for joy over it he goes and sells all that he has and buys that field." This verse, after going through it, produced two questions for me. One is, why am I not experiencing that same joy after finding that same treasure? You see that the man joyfully sold everything that he had to buy the field in which he'd found the treasure. And it's undeniable that his actions demonstrate this kind of all-in mentality. And so that made me question, what areas of my life may I not be all in? Some areas of our life where it's hard for us to be all in is how we manage our time, how we manage our money, how we manage our energy. And lately, how I've been managing my time and control over my time has been something that's been hitting me pretty hard. Lately, the only form of community that we've had to experience has been virtually via Zoom. And in a given week, might consist of 2 to 4 Zoom meetings. And I shouldn't complain because some people it's been worse, but those are times that I'm sitting in front of a screen wishing that I would be doing something else. And instead of bringing those feelings towards the Lord, those feelings of bitterness, those are feelings that I've kept to myself and just held on to because I felt that I could bear it and that I felt that I could just push through. Instead of bringing those to the Lord and asking Him to heal my heart. So I want to encourage you guys. God just doesn't want the hard things in your life, the things that you cannot handle, the things that you cannot bear on your own. He wants all things. Just as much joy awaits you in giving the small things over to Him as well. So I ask you guys, in what areas of your life can you experience more joy if you went all in? Don't miss that joy.